Alex Answer here. This is going to be just a brief audio recording. I've done several takes. The whole idea initially was to watch a video from someone else that I had some positive, um, positive thoughts about. Another YouTuber who discusses the archons, but I haven't watched his content for some time. And as the 1 hour podcast continued, well, actually video cast, I was actually promoting his video. Then he got into racism. And you know what? I don't want to do an emotional podcast. I don't want to go into stuff that I went into last year. I want to save some stuff for a book, right? But I just want to say that the Trojan horse within the Archon research community is racism, and it's white supremacy. And it's people steering us away from what they've done to the Middle East, steering us away from discussing about transhumanism, man and machine merging. They want to steer us, they're steering us away from these off-world operations, steering us away about the potential connection with many women being abducted within whether they be my lab or other things. It's all connected. Now, people have been diverting with their race identity politics in the events of Europe, but the wars in the Middle East and the displacement is manufactured. People that actually control things, which aren't the Muslims, but the people that actually wear the pants and control things and control immigration, they are the ones that are carving Europe into whatever. But you aren't dealing with different species of humans when you're dealing with people from different parts of the world procreating children. And it's very insulting to people that are genetically diverse to come across other people that have acted like they've become infected by the archons. And it's something you need to be aware of. People can be sitting there thinking they're exposing spiritual parasites and be infected by spiritual parasites by promoting racism and steering the conversation away from this divide and conquer game. To me, that is the Archon conspiracy. The illusions of separation, what they have done to our society. Sure, they will play up propaganda to make people jealous. Some people get really upset that they see the media promoting black men and white women. Without a doubt, there's ways in which the media does things to provoke elements of the population. I believe that. I don't believe I see others sharing such a view. But I just want to be calm and collected and let you know the Trojan horse and even the New Age community and alternative media is soft and hard forms of racial supremacy, not limited to white supremacy. Illusions of separation covers the entire shebang. There are forces of darkness, right, that have infected the so-called truth community. It is the archonic infection. It is the mind virus. At times, it feels like I stand alone against this disinformation, but I know that I do not. I know that not all white people are under the spell. I know that there's a lot of racism towards black people, and yet I can tell you that I've seen a rise in strong black voices on YouTube, from reprogramming the matrix to other people. It's like, are these are souls like myself and others. We've been activating in recent years. We are seeing through the lies. We are seeing through the racism. But I will call out their attempt and their use of AI. I did a video recently about Facebook. You know what Facebook has been doing? They're trying to turn us against each other. Whoever you are, whatever you identify with. And you can go ahead and identify with the gender and perception of ethnicity, but that's not really what we are, nor are we just our name or where our last name hails from. That's low level consciousness. That's where a lot of people are stuck. I'm not going to be stuck where they are. I watched this person rant and rave, and it became darker as the rant continued. And I'm glad that I'm doing this again. I'm not putting out that video. It's not about him. It's not about what his name is. It's about me being honest with you about how I feel. And I just need a microphone. Oh man, I don't. This is intense, man. This is spiritual warfare. Well, I can feel like I can see the Eye of Sauron. Ah, yes, we divide the people this way. We convince them they are so different based on this. Ah, yes. And then we create birth guilt. That's right, birth guilt. For people to be guilty they were born. So people might feel guilty if they're contributing to a less white world. Oh, time to feel guilty about your birth. Oh man, what kind of psycho anti-self-love program is this? And when are humans going to see this? Listen, I don't want to mention her name because some of these witches frighten me. There's a woman popular on YouTube who deals with law of attraction stuff. Man, it's just like saying Beetlejuice 3 times. Know what I mean? She's been watching me for years. I share personal stuff about my life, technology, women using technology in some cases to replace men, and not to generalize all, but that's been a topic with regards to social issues, technological influence. She trolls on my channel saying, we got to stop the Muslim men from being with the Anglo women. And being that my father's Middle Eastern, and I have no connection to either side of my family, and I always felt that being different place. See, and that's something for a life story. But when I see these people come out of the woodwork with no compassion, right, acted like they're threatened, saying these people are inbreeding. But wait a minute, inbred. Let's shorten that. Inbred is when it's the same inbred. But they call it interbreeding. Like what are we talking about? Nephilim, Genesis, say who? Now we're not going to get super deep into this. We're going to keep this video short, but I'm going to say my piece. I don't have to swear. I don't have to insult you. I don't have to beg you to understand anything. I'm going to say my piece, and this is a part of the historical record. I started noting this several years ago. I called out Alex Jones in the Alex Jones Deception series, and it's the same program because I saw there's this deception in the spiritual communities and a deception in the truth community. There's a lack of empathy for the destruction that the West has brought much of the world. But unlike those with anger at the West that want to see this country burn, I do not have that same type of vengeance. In fact, I think that it is dangerous to speak like that we want to see people hurt. God or the creator or the karma, the universe, whatever, is going to deal with each one of us. And it is in each moment of our lives. So a lot of these people just don't understand that they're not ascending. They haven't decorded from the archons. In fact, some of them seem to be hosts to the archons. They got Archon in their title. Oh, the Archon destruction of Europe. Newsflash: the Muslims don't control immigration. Now, there's a lot to talk about with regards to what's happening to humanity, technology, global economy, microchips. Newsflash: Muslims aren't running that. Muslims aren't running the other. Muslims aren't running the other. So how do these people take the argument about Archons to the European situation when it's an entire globe? And they start saying things when Europe falls, the whole world falls. Dangerous talk. This infection runs deep, and it seems that the archons have their preferred bloodlines. That's why there's a brown genocide. And it doesn't mean that whites aren't also persecuted in some parts of the world. It's really about getting everybody at everybody's throat, causing pain, causing people to live in fear, people being in dangerous situations. Okay, it's a crazy world out there. It's a very crazy world. So, having watched people like this person that I'm speaking of, hell, I saw videos from him back in 2011. 2012, I was downloading videos from him and going, wow, me and this guy have a lot in common. Wow. Wow. Hmm. Fast forward. Here we are. You know, here we are up where we belong. No, we can't come up to this point of having this union and standing against the archons. 5 years later, here's that same guy And by the end of that video, he is literally foaming at the mouth with his eyes rolling the back of his head. And I can see that the guy that's ranting about the archons is infected because he's enraged and angered over a change in genetics. Literally babies being born less white, and he's like foaming at the mouth. And it's like I was seeing like he was already looking ill when I watched the video, and I figured, well, he's probably gone through a lot of psychic attack in response to his coverage of the Archon. So that it reminded me to remind you all, as well as myself, we cannot neglect our spiritual growth. If we're going to go, we can't go out against these forces without the armor. And I see there's a lot of people that like to mock God or the Creator or Christians. I'm not down with that. I don't allow that. I blocked someone today for mocking a Christian on Facebook. I'm just like, who are? There's a lot of people that act like they're fans of my work that are absolute sadists. So I'm not saying that applies to all of you. There are folks that claim to be, and they may be fans of some, I don't know, video, but there are so many of you good souls that have emailed or started supporting my work, or have left positive messages, or have sent positive thoughts. And I want to let you know I recognize you. And I appreciate those of you that understand the uniqueness of what it is that I'm doing. And while I may not completely stand alone, it certainly at times seems like I do when I'm standing against this racist agenda, which is absolutely, I mean, that is the Archon conspiracy, my friends, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Archon conspiracy, the manufactured race war from on high, beyond the pyramid, beyond that which we can see. We are being manipulated. But I'm going to wrap things up now. Thank you for listening.